Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, this is probably going to be the final one before I actually return from Paris, and I feel like it's actually a really good video on this. So this one is going to be the best brawlers throughout the whole year. So I kind of got this idea from Ash on Twitter. He started to do like a best brawlers for every single year, and I feel like it was a really good idea for a video. Thought I'd do the best 5. Let me know what you think of the list in the comment section below. So before we jump into it, make sure you're using the creator code. That'd be greatly appreciated. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Alright guys, so jumping into the 5th best brawler out of 2022, we have a Gale. So this isn't a list just like pinpointing who have been the most broken at a certain point. Maybe that's another video idea I can do in the future if you want, but this one is more so brawlers that pretty been like really consistent throughout the year, that have never really fallen off and have been near the top of the meta every single time. And I think Gale is a perfect example of this. So I think for the first couple of months he actually wasn't the best brawler. Like, of course it's pretty hard for a brawler to be consistently the best without getting any single nerfs right, but the big talking point was the first few months he wasn't the best, but then he got a buff at the beginning of March. Basically his blustery blow star power, it went from 1 second to 1.5 seconds, and this was the start of Gale just being incredibly strong within the draft stage. You know, pretty much all of the time you can just draft a Gale and you can counter all of the tanks in the game just by his gadget and his super. But not only that, also on maps with a lot of walls you can get insane value out of Gale, because even though it has been nerfed, I don't know when the last nerf was for it, it now is 1.25 seconds. It's still enough time to just stun lock opponents every single time. Like, by the time you've got your super again, like look at this, they're just stunned again, and it's just so toxic to actually be against a Gale that is pretty decent, specifically in Brawl. But of course he's got his other game modes as well. So again, I'm not saying at any point like Gale's been like the best brawler in the game. He's always been consistently strong, and I feel like I don't know why they haven't really nerfed Gale. I guess they don't want him to be as bad as he used to be, but still, when he starts countering brawlers that aren't specifically tanks, it starts to become a bit of a problem. So I just think we should nerf blustery blow maybe a little bit, maybe like 1.2 seconds, 1.1 seconds, or maybe nerf the supercharge rate. I think one of those things have to be done for Gale to be a little bit more balanced, because obviously he shouldn't just be this strong at shutting down tanks pretty much all of the time. So unfortunately Mortis does dash past my super right there, but it doesn't really matter too much because we're going to be able to cycle it in time. I don't know how we didn't score earlier, but I've got my super again here. Should be able to just completely shut down this turret in a second. That's going to be the stun lock on the M's as well. Just look at that. I cycle just so easily. It's just not even a problem for me. So should be able to... Okay, I don't know why we're not getting that pet down just yet. But again, super should be charged pretty soon. And it's just even more toxic when you're looking to try and score as well. So should be able to get... Oh, that was so close to get my super. Maybe I could push those guys away and scored it. It looks like we're actually going to be in the receiving end of a goal right here with Mortis just taking... I don't know, just ripping Colt a new one. That's going to be the 5th best brawler out of 2022. Let's hop into the next one. Alright guys, so jumping into the 4th best brawler of 2022, we have Crow. So Crow, even though he got nerfed about well, a couple of months ago, I think it was the end of August, he still remains to be quite a top brawler within the game, but mainly for the first 3/4 of this year he was absolutely insane. So of course that slow and toxic gadget was the main reason why. It was a 5-second duration, which just led to him being so broken on so many different game modes and maps. And still, I would consider him not even falling off the meta too much. He's still used a lot in hot zone, you know, maps like double switch for example. You still get a lot of value out of the gadget, and also like his jumps are just so valuable. He's definitely been a top brawler throughout the whole year. You know, looking back at my tier list and whatever else, he's always been like in and around a top 10, even sometimes getting within the top 6 of the meta. So he definitely hasn't really ever fallen off within this meta. Still always had a place within the Brawl Stars competitive tier list. So not even having to use my my slows right here, but we're going to jump on in. Should be able to get multiple slows onto B and the Pam, but what it allows you to do a lot of the time, again, is just to get that control, specifically on hot zone right now, even with it only being 3 seconds. You know, think of Ring of Fire for example, where you just need a couple of slows and then a jump, and then you're literally right back in the game just because of that. Crow is still a fantastic brawler within this meta. So unfortunately we get a little bit deleted inside of that one. It's also a really good counter to a lot of meta brawlers right now. It's good counter to brawlers like Max. You know, the sharpshooters, his jump just completely destroys. And overall, it's just really good at scouting the bushes and keeping people away from you with that slows. So yeah, still considered to be one of the better brawlers within the game right now. So Again, going to look to try and get value out of multiple targets with his slow. Going to manage to jump on top of the Pam here. Should be able to get her down pretty quickly. That's going to be the surge down as well. And we should be able to finish off the kill with the B. I don't even know how B is still alive. She gets the important takedown. And I don't think we're going to be able to finish that one off. So, yeah, let me know who you think are the most like consistent brawlers throughout this year. And as I said, I feel like it might be a good idea just to do the most broken brawlers of this year as well in general. Like, which brawler has been the most broken throughout the entirety of the year. So we're just going to jump on a B and completely delete her. Another brawler who, as long as you're not feeding a 3k and jumping into the 3k shot, you should just be able to kill pretty much easily, considering she's such a meta brawler. So that is going to be the 4th best brawler of this year. Hopefully we might be able to score at the end here. Let's jump into the 3rd best of the year. Alright guys, so jumping into the 3rd best brawler throughout this year, we have Bonnie. So Bonnie is a brawler that's only been available in the game, I think, since June. So only like half of a year, but I still feel like I had to put her in this list. She's literally always been in the top 10 brawlers in the meta. But like maybe at the beginning people underrated her a little bit, but she's always been at the top, and she only received one small nerf to her HP, I believe. She still continues to be just one of the best brawlers in the game, and literally every single game mode still she proves to be so strong. And even though she's not like the best brawler in the game anymore, like I said, top 10 is still one of the best ones, you know, considering she's so strong in knockout, so strong in bounty, and just really good at fitting multiple purposes. Like, you've just been so aggressive in the first form, being able to have like 7,000 HP as a sniper, then popping your gadget and being so aggressive, and then you can just catapult yourself onto pretty much any single brawler within the game and just get infinite value. It's just such a broken mechanic with Bonnie. You know, mechanically she's just so incredibly strong, so she'll be able to get this bear down eventually. It's going to take a lot of shots for us to get it down, but you can just see here the star power range as well is insane. You could easily just latch yourself onto someone literally across the entire map, and also you're pretty speedy in this form as well, and you can easily just stay in that form and also just get a lot of damage onto multiple brawlers as well. There's just never been a time where Bonnie is bad, right? So, you know, also as well, probably for like 3 months plus, like Bonnie was just the brawler to ban pretty much all of her time. She was so incredibly toxic. Like Janet, I'd say has been really strong, but wasn't really the most toxic out of 2. This brawler is definitely the most toxic out of the 2, so I don't really want to jump on top of it right here unless he's pretty weak. The Mortis just goes in and scores anyway. But yeah, Bonnie has to be the 3rd best brawler in terms of consistency throughout the year. Let's hop into number 2. Alright guys, so jumping into the 2nd best brawler throughout the year of 2022, we have Max. So Max, again, it's been a brawler that has just persistently been one of the best brawlers within the game, always at the top of the meta, always within the top 20, top 15, and for the last few months within the top 5 in his meta. Just been such an insane brawler. But again, she's not been like incredibly toxic. That's one thing I like about Max. Although she does have just the ability to synergize with everyone, she's not like incredibly toxic, you know, like Eva meta, for example. That was just a disgusting meta, whereas Max metas I feel like are pretty skillful. But overall, Max has just been such a well-rounded brawler. She actually received a damage buff at the beginning of March, which just catapulted her even more in the meta. Like, she was a little bit underwhelming before the damage buff, and then the damage buff just made her so much better. You see her used pretty much in every single game mode, and a good Max can easily be one of the best brawlers inside of a game. So unfortunately, that was a terrible play. If I had a max speed, I definitely would have been able to score in that scenario. A little bit unfortunate. So yeah, my teammates aren't really doing the most right now, and we're probably just going to lose pretty fast. But maybe I can get a good getaway if I kill this dynamite right here. Let's see if we can kill him. Nice. Yeah, we're going to manage to score anyway. That's just why I love Max as well. So fun to play inside of Brawl, and I think every single game mode you can get away with playing Max as long as you play it pretty smart. So yeah, let me know what you think of Max this year. You know, in terms of other people as well, as I said, like I got this idea from Action. A lot of people tend to agree with Max being like one of the best brawlers throughout this year. So getting close to my max speed, probably should have opted for the other star power so I got more speeds, but we're in this situation right now. Let's see if we can use our dash to get into a much better position. Dynamite's going to use the super and completely miss it. Okay, I just ran straight back into that gadget. That is a bit unfortunate. We could have maybe got another getaway goal right there, but yeah, not really doing too much. But there's definitely been moments and metas in the past where Max has probably been even more overwhelming. You know, I can think of, I think maybe like even 2 years ago where Max used to just get speed literally all of the time. But still, I think she's a really good brawler right now and has been consistently one of the best. Let's hop into the best brawler of 2022. Alright guys, jumping into the best brawler in 2022. I feel like you could have guessed this one pretty easily. It's going to be Janet. So Janet was released at the beginning of May. She wasn't really completely broken from the get-go. A lot of people thought she was really underwhelming, but then like a month later or a couple of weeks later, her vocal warm-up star power was added to the game, and then she just became a top 3 brawler literally ever since. I don't think she's dropped out of the top 3. She's just been consistent across multiple modes. Her mechanics are just really broken. The fact they can easily just hit 1.5k shots as well all of the time is just so insane. You've also got this gadget as well, which stops the regen, which is incredibly annoying to face off against. And before as well, I forgot how long it actually took for him to nerf it, but I believe for a solid probably at least 2 weeks, maybe even a month, that you was able to drop this gadget whilst in the air. It just led to such toxic plays. You know, you could literally fly across the map, pop the gadget whenever you needed to, and then the enemy team would need to start regenning again. It was just such a toxic trait, and you could just spam gadgets all of the time. And also as well, you only needed 5 hits for your super. Now you need 6, and also I think she got like a 300 health nerf, which really those 2 nerfs did literally nothing. She's still easily one of the best brawlers within the game right now, and it just leads me to think like what a toxic meta it would have been in the past if they didn't actually nerf her a little bit more. Like she's this strong now, right? Imagine what she would have been like without nerfs. I seem to have forgot a little bit, but maybe people were underestimating her still a little bit. But yeah, right now easily a top brawler within the game across literally every single game mode. I think the only game mode which won't really play her in too much is probably more so the kill game modes, you know, like bounty and knockout. You can still get away with playing a Janet, but it's still sometimes hard to get the kills. And then also heist. She doesn't do the most damage, but still she's a really good flex brawler. Like you see her time and time again being picked early on in the draft, because there's not really a lot of brawlers that can pretty much do what she can. So hopefully the multi-stash is here, and yeah, we missed an open goal just for the lols. I gotta keep that one in, but I just feel like there's no other real talking points about this, because everyone knows how strong Janet is. Let me know who you think is stronger. Of course, you know, I could have said brawlers like Eve, for example, have been really busted. You know, Fang this year, Buster himself. But as I said, that's more of a different type of video. Let me know whether you want to see that one, because there's probably a lot of brawlers that have been completely busted at one point. You know, it's actually pretty hard to define who has been the most broken this year. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.